In the heart of a dense jungle, where shadows coil like living things, and the air swarms with whispered threats, lies a tragedy writ large across the tawny fur of a once majestic tiger. Its flesh is marred by a grotesque, pulsating wound. A hive of bees has embedded itself into the living skin, creating a sickening mosaic of raw and honeycomb. This is no ordinary injury. This grotesque infestation transforms the tiger from predator to prey in an unimaginable way, a living, breathing torment wrapped in stripes. The hive, sticky and swollen, festers under the tiger's thick coat, a sickly cathedral crafted by nature's brood in poorly chosen territory. The bees, their bodies buzzing with eerie precision, crawl and dart across the wounded landscape, their stings leaving trails of venom and agony. The tiger, a creature built for strength and silence, now limps through its domain burdened by the unrelenting thrum of tiny wings and the sting of nature's relentless insistence. Bee infestation on a tiger is a rare but horrifying natural occurrence. Normally, bees seek out stable structures, hollow trees, rock crevices, places to build and protect their colonies. But when a bee colony decides or is forced to settle within the wounded, in the quiet expanse of a forgotten pasture, something grotesque festers beneath a sheep's wool, a raw testament to nature's cruel indifference. Here lies a creature, once a symbol of pastoral innocence, now a living canvas of horror, a wound swollen and distorted, an unnatural hive pulsating with life, yet death-like in its oppressive presence. This is no mere injury. It is a festering monument to a microscopic siege, a beehive infestation burrowing deep into the very flesh of vulnerability. The sight is unsettling, a dark bloom of suffering wrapped in the coarse locks of the sheep, an almost surreal convergence of nature's beauty and brutality. The bees, normally tiny architects of sweetness, have colonized this living wound, turning an animal's body into their fortress, an ectopic hive swarming not in the air, but in mortal flesh. The infestation on a sheep is an aberration, a rare but profoundly disturbing phenomenon. These are not the harmless pollinators we admire amid blossoms, but insidious invaders exploiting broken skin. A wound opened inadvertently by the sheep's own scratching or sharp thorn. The breach becomes an invitation, and soon the wound's warm, moist environment serves as an incubator for a legion of bees whose behavior defies their usual role. They burrow, drill, and expand their colony within the soft tissues, secreting substances that prevent healing, while the swarm thrives on the host's weakened resistance. The hive structure becomes a grotesque hybrid, not crafted from wax and nectar, but from infected tissue, pus, and excrement. These bees beneath the pristine white of the Arctic tundra lies a grotesque tableau rarely witnessed, a mighty polar bear, once a symbol of icy sovereignty, now a living shrine to nature's most unsettling horror. Its massive frame, vast and powerful, is marred by an unsettling, festering wound. This is no simple injury, but a macabre stage for an infestation that turns instinct into nightmare, a writhing mass of serpentine parasites, slithering from the gaping flesh like a revolting infestation orchestrated by decay itself. The sight is at once repellent and mesmerizing, a raw exhibition of life's relentless will to survive, even thriving on the brink of the bear's downfall. These invaders, serpentine in form and sinister in pace, are not mere snakes, but a bizarre variety of parasitic worms, long, slimy, and relentless. Embedded beneath the skin, they weave themselves deeper into the bear's flesh, feeding off blood and tissue, their slick bodies coiling and uncoiling with grotesque rhythm. The wound radiates a sickly odor, a blend of decay, infection, and the faint saltiness of the nearby sea, a stench that whispers silently of suffering and survival. This infestation is a sinister tango played out in the cold light of the Arctic day, exposing a raw underbelly of the natural world's cruelty. The narrative here crosses the boundaries of simple predator and prey. The polar bear, a creature evolved to endure the harshest of climates, finds itself beleaguered by these parasitic worms, creatures that have seized the bear's misfortune for their own gain. In the shadowed depths of a mist-covered bamboo forest, a sight unfolds that few would dare to imagine. A solitary panda, whose once pristine white and black fur has been transformed into a grotesque landscape of swollen, oozing wounds. Upon closer inspection, the horror reveals itself, a hive not constructed of wood or nestled high in a tree, but rather grotesquely embedded into the raw, inflamed flesh of this gentle giant. This living, pulsating mass of honeycomb is a bizarre, a nightmarish testament to an invasion of bees, turning the panda's body into a dark, buzzing fortress of pain and infection. The very creature we associate with peace and innocence now hosts a relentless swarm, making it the unwilling habitat for thousands of tiny stingers, each relentlessly defending their hive while worsening the panda's trauma. The infestation on a panda is a biological anomaly wrapped in a macabre spectacle. Normally, bees construct their hives in secluded, sturdy places, but when environmental disruptions, whether natural or human-induced, displace their colonies, they may resort to far stranger refuge choices. In this grim scenario, the panda's belly and back become the hive's base, with bees meticulously weaving hexagonal wax cells interlaced with cope. In a forgotten corner of the wild, amidst the dense underbrush and shifting shadows, lies a scene both grotesque and strangely hypnotic. A magnificent tiger, once a symbol of raw power and majestic beauty, now marred by a ghastly affliction, its fur, lush and golden, is ripped open to reveal a massive hive pulsating with life. A hive not built in the usual crevices of ancient trees, but forcibly grafted onto the tiger's flesh. This unholy mesh of flesh and wax is a macabre theater of survival, where nature's lines blur in unsettling ways. The sight is shocking, a visceral jolt that demands attention. How did this apex predator become host to such an unsettling infestation? Bee infestation, particularly by wild bee colonies, is a rare but telling phenomenon in the animal kingdom. These insects, typically architects of nectar and pollination, have in this case transformed into opportunistic colonizers, exploiting the tiger's wound as fertile real estate. The hive structure, composed of hexagonal wax cells filled with larval grubs and honey, is cemented painfully onto raw meat and torn skin. The tiger's body responds with a dark cocktail of inflammation and festering, creating an environment rich in warmth and humidity, the perfect brooding ground for the bees. The buzzing, relentless, and eerie, fills the sickening cavity as hundreds of bees crawl in and out, their barbed stingers in the vast, unforgiving plains. A solitary bison stands, a colossal figure swathed in rugged fur, an ancient strength. Yet, what stares back from the thick matted coat is not the majestically dignified beast we expect. Instead, a brutal spectacle unfolds, a grotesque, swollen wound, labyrinthine in its horror, crawling and oozing with the malevolent handiwork of an unrelenting wasp nest. This hive of torment clings to the bison's flesh, like a dark monument to suffering, a festering testament to nature's cruel indifference. The raw flesh beneath the buzzing colony pulses with infection, a banquet of pain and decay orchestrated by timeless instincts. The air itself seems thick with the buzzing phantoms of these tiny invaders, whose barbed stings inject venom that inflames tissue, dissolves defenses, and invites carrion flies to the party. This wasp infestation is a biological siege in microscopic detail. Wasp queens, the architects of this torture, have crafted their waxy citadel directly atop vulnerable skin, piercing the hide's natural barrier. The colony thrives on the host's weakening vitality, injecting growling larvae into wounds, each wormy parasite an unholy parasite that feeds on the bison's flesh and blood. The horde renders the once mighty beast a walking carcass, its movements slowed by the agony shackled to every step. The ecosystem of the nest is a grim dance of predator and prey reversed, a tiny army turning the towering herbivore into a wounded canvas of grotesque survival. Yet this calamity is not merely a freak incident. It is a stark portrayal of nature's unfeeling cycles, one creature's pain serving as fuel for another's life. Behind the horror lies an unsettling